Welcome to Power Players, the series that talks to some of the most...
Many would say, from top-flight footballer to the...
Arsenal at Stamford Bridge from Mathieu Flamini.
If we asked you who the richest footballer is, you'd probably say Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo, or even David Beckham, right? What if it turns out that the richest isn't even close to these superstars but is actually an average player who barely made the starting lineup? And his name is Mathieu Flamini. Want to know how he did it? This is about Mathieu Flamini, a name that might not sound as popular as Messi or Ronaldo, but don't get me wrong, Flamini was far from a bad player. He had skills that most of us can only dream of. To understand how he became the richest footballer ever, even surpassing Michael Jordan in net worth, we've got to take a look at his humble and seemingly ordinary football career and see how everything fell into place. From as early as 8 years old, the French prodigy was already scouted to play in the youth academy of Marseille, sticking with them until he earned a promotion to the first team. But despite the club keeping him around for over a decade, upon moving up to the first team, he'd only make a brief 14 appearances throughout just a single season in the league. But then came Arsenal swooping in to sign the 20-year-old midfielder. In his early seasons with the Gunners, he wasn't exactly the flashiest or most technically gifted midfielder around, but he really had something special brewing. As for Flamini, he brought more to the table than meets the eye. Sure, he wasn't a regular starter and often found himself warming the bench, but when he stepped onto that pitch, his versatility and sheer hustle was undeniable. Whether he was starting or coming on as a sub, Flamini's adaptability, work ethic, and passion set him apart from the rest. In his debut season, he stepped onto the field 32 times, mostly as a sub. Yet, his impact was undeniable, helping Arsenal clinch the 2004-2005 FA Cup. Despite never quite snagging a permanent starting spot, every time Flamini hit the pitch, especially in defensive moments, he made his presence felt. Flamini was a force in the midfield, always relentless and never backing down. That's why Arsenal fans absolutely loved him. Despite only scoring 8 goals in 153 appearances for the club, each of them was quite special. Even though he was never really a starter, he still made a considerable amount of appearances, building a partnership with Cesc Fabregas in the midfield. Especially during their run in the 2005-2006 Champions League, Flamini's presence was felt. But it wasn't until his 4th and final year with Arsenal that he truly got his shot at the starting lineup. But it was also during that same season when he suffered a major knee injury, leading to Flamini and Arsenal parting ways. Despite a setback, Flamini remained the type of reserve or backup player that any club would love to have. AC Milan saw his value and decided to sign him up. In Italy, he had to adapt, shifting from a central midfielder to a more defensive role. Sometimes he even found himself playing as a right-back. But that was perfectly fine with his personality because Flamini was all about doing whatever it took to win and make the biggest impact, even if it meant stepping out of his comfort zone in terms of play style or possession. During his 5 seasons in Milan, Flamini would only notch 8 goals in 123 appearances. However, he did manage to clinch a single Serie A title along the way. However, in his 4th year during the 2011-12 season, Flamini faced another setback, suffering a serious knee injury that required surgery. This event sidelined him for the entire season, causing his future outlook with AC Milan to lose a lot of traction. Eventually, his contract expired, leading to his departure from the club. But Arsenal welcomed him back as a free agent, although with a noticeable drop in wages from £100,000 to just £60,000 annually. Yeah, but that's still a decent sum. But at the same time, he came back to Arsenal with a much bigger role, finally getting regular starts in the lineup. During his second stint with Arsenal, fans truly adored Flamini's style of play. He was an absolute warrior on the pitch, rocking his all-black boots. The man was all about business. He didn't crave the limelight, but gave 100% with pure hustle, aggression, and work rate. Well, it's no coincidence that in his first season back, Flamini was like a shot of energy for the squad. He played a vital role in Arsenal's consecutive FA Cup victories and even bagged a Community Shield in between. It's the kind of impact that speaks volumes about his character and dedication to the team. He might not have been the headline act, but he embodied the true spirit of the Gunners, playing with discipline and passion every time he stepped onto the pitch. And he scored 5 goals in 93 matches over 3 seasons in his final spell with Arsenal. As he was already getting old and had endured quite a few injuries in his career, Flamini bid farewell to the club at 33 years of age. He then signed with Crystal Palace for a season before spending his final couple of years as a reserve player for Getafe in La Liga. He wasn't exactly a superstar, but what you can definitely take away from his career is his unwavering discipline, passion, and relentless effort. Flamini showed time and again that he could adapt no matter what difficulties or inconveniences he faced in his career, and it would make perfect sense that those traits would carry on to his career outside of football. Once he retired, there were very few footballers, let alone athletes in general, who had the discipline, mindset, and work ethic of Mathieu Flamini. After leaving the Gunners for AC Milan in 2008, Flamini, along with his economics graduate business partner, Pasquale Granata, founded GF Biochemicals, their aim to revolutionize the energy industry. After retiring in 2019, Flamini pursued his passion outside of football with remarkable success. Alongside his business partner, they invested heavily in research and infrastructure to produce levulinic acid. Fast forward nearly 16 years, their company is now valued at £21 billion, a whopping 40 times more than Cristiano Ronaldo's net worth. Their secret? Mastering the mass production of levulinic acid is a game changer in plastic production. Levulinic acid has a wide range of applications beyond just fuel. It's also used in biodegradable herbicides and finds its way into various household items like air fresheners and perfumes, as well as plastics and pharmaceuticals. Flamini's company made history back in 2015 by becoming the first to mass-produce levulinic acid. Levulinic acid is incredibly valuable, serving as a substitute for oil in the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, plastics, cosmetics, and many other products. With such a valuable asset, if Flamini decided to sell his company, he could potentially buy every single football club he's ever played for. Seriously, if Flamini sold his company and bought every football club, technically, nobody could stop him from lacing up his boots one more time and doing whatever he wants. But no, he's not going to do that because he says that as a child, he had two passions, football and sustainability. Growing up in Marseille near the sea, he was always aware of the environmental questions around ocean plastics and chemical pollution from a very young age. He also mentioned that he kept his business quiet from his teammates and family for 5 years because he wasn't sure where it was headed. Plus, being a pro footballer added some extra pressure. You see, while the average top footballer may boast some hefty bank accounts, this guy? He's playing in a whole different league. According to Forbes, Flamini's personal net worth clocks in around £10 billion. Now, don't go thinking he's got all that cash stashed under his mattress. Nope, it's the shares he's holding in GF Biochemicals. He's got his hands on roughly 60% of that Paris-based biochemical company, and let me tell you, that's no small chunk. But you know, while he might not be eyeing up a club just to slide himself into the starting lineup, that doesn't mean he's not keen on taking the helm as a club owner. He might have hung up his boots, but he's actually dropped hints about possibly owning a club in the future. Speaking of Arsenal and Marseille, he mentioned that those clubs have a special place in his heart. Flamini continues to show the same discipline and work ethic from his footballing days, mentioning that he still trains 5 times a week. He adds that if one were to look for him in London after 7 PM, they're likely going to find him running in Hyde Park. He says that health and fitness remain an integral part of his life, as they have been since his youth academy days. Starting his football journey, and now as a big businessman, Flamini still holds on to the qualities that Arsenal fans loved him for. He's all about working with his team, adapting to any situation, and staying humble. He talks about being surrounded by smart people at work and learning from them. Flamini stresses the importance of pushing oneself, even if it means feeling a bit out of your depth sometimes. His advice? Embrace pressure and give it your all, whether in business or on the field. And that wraps it up. Now, what do you think? Do drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button for more awesome content. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay awesome, and we'll be back with another one.